I'm actually very happy that Baker Mayfield is now flourishing because I don't like picking on people. I got kids. I don't like bullies. And I thought I was hard on Baker. I thought I was right, and I was right early. But I do like to see redemption stories. I think they're great. And mostly I'm an older guy that talks about younger athletes, so I don't want to be a bully up here, right? Like it's okay. That's why I bring guests on to take shots at me. And I like to see guys that I was tough on, like, flourishing. And I've always had this thing with Aaron Rodgers, and fans are like, Colin, it's just you and an Aaron Rodgers thing, and officially today it's not. So the Action Network, I work with the Action Network, my company, The Volume, top-of-the-line people. They polled more than 3,000 football fans in America. And of their many questions, one was, who's the most annoying football player? Aaron Rodgers won by a landslide. 24 of 32 teams. Fan bases named it Aaron. It's never been a me and Aaron thing. He's exhausting to everybody. But it's easy for me to say that. I have an explanation, and I think it's right, and I've thought this, and I've shared this with people in the NFL. So my theory is that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning, but around 2010 to 2014, there was a period of time they were all in the GOAT discussion. At that time, it was like Joe Montana was, but it was Brady, Manning, and Aaron Rodgers in the GOAT discussion. And of those three, Aaron was the coolest. And Aaron threw the prettiest ball, by far. Like Manning and Brady were, almost governed by their teams to some degree. But Aaron was, he's the way that ball flies out, he was the cool guy. But then Brady started stacking trophies. He beats Atlanta in that amazing Super Bowl. He beats the Rams. Then he goes to Tampa and wins. So Brady separates from Aaron. And about the same time, so does Manning. He gets to a second Super Bowl. He wins the Super Bowl. Then he goes to a third. And he separates now from Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron keeps score on everything. I'll get to that in a second. He keeps score on everything. So in the GOAT discussion, the cool guy, Brady and Manning, separate from him. Suddenly, Aaron, about 2018 to 2021, starts playing really, if you pay attention, safe football. He starts leading the NFL in throwaways. Instead of throwing the ball down the field, he gets very stats protective. And many of you have picked up on this the last 6-7 years with Aaron. He starts leading the NFL in touchdown-interception ratio, but it appears to be like a thing, like it really matters to him. He's obsessed. And if he ever throws like a pick or two in a game, he shuts down. It's not his day, he shuts down. I remember a Tampa game that was like that. He just shuts down. And he becomes stat-obsessed. And he leads the league in throwing it away by a mile. Instead of throwing the ball down the field, he just throws it away. No interceptions. So Brady and Manning have separated from him, and he becomes like safe, lead the league in touchdown-interception ratio. And if you don't think Aaron Rodgers keeps score on everything and keeps track on everything, listen to this bite this week after they beat Tennessee. Nobody thought that was Aaron's win. That was the best win in Zach Wilson's career. That's like taking a lot of credit for being the backup quarterback at a Super Bowl and saying, I won a Super Bowl. Aaron keeps track of everything. So as Brady and Manning separated, because Aaron did not used to be like this. Aaron was not annoying when he came into the league. That was not who Aaron was. He was cool. He was fun. He was kind of cocky, but he replaced Favre. It was kind of cool. And then Brady and Manning pull away. He becomes stats-obsessed, leads the NFL in throwaways, gets obsessed, plays safe, TD to interception ratio. And then COVID hits 4 years ago. This is the second part of this theory. And as Brady and Manning start moving into broadcasting in corporate America and dealing in the media and working for the media, once again, Aaron has to be different. And he becomes anti-media and anti-corporate America. And I don't care if I lose my biggest sponsors. Aaron keeps track of everything. And so if Brady, Manning, and Aaron were compared traditionally, he finishes third in the GOAT discussion. So he creates a new measuring stick. I'm not a shill. I'm not corporate. I'm anti-media. I believe in conspiracy theories. I absolutely believe this is true. I think he keeps track of everything. That quote after Tennessee is a classic example. He's been like this forever. Is that there was, if you go back, 2010, 2014, it was Manning, Brady, Aaron. They were all in the GOAT discussion. When Brady and Manning pulled away, he started getting safe, TD to interception ratio obsessed, leading the NFL by a long shot in throwaways. And then as COVID hit and Brady and Manning become more corporate, more media, he goes the opposite. Again, traditional measuring sticks, he'd be third. Aaron don't want to be third at anything. He wants to be unique. It matters to him. So it's never been a me and Aaron thing. He was just voted on most annoying player in the league. And he did not used to be that way. When he was in that GOAT discussion, Aaron was fun. He was cocky, but so what? Well, like a little cocky. Michael Jordan was cocky. We like Michael. Barkley was cocky. We like our cocky guys. But he has changed. And he is more annoying. All right, so I'm reading a story today about Sam Darnold. Chris Sims said this, NFL analyst, NBC, that Sam Darnold gives the Vikings offense more potential, is the word he used, than Kirk Cousins. And it's interesting about that. So I always feel if you compared Sam Darnold to Kirk Cousins, it would be like comparing a bake-off to the Iron Chef. Baking is more formulaic, following directions, precise, more science. Chefs, it's more about improvisation, adapting, freestyling. It's more art, right? Both are fine. Kirk Cousins is a baker. Darnold's more the chef. A little reckless, a little more juice and flair and art. Cousins is about intense preparation, getting to his spot. Again, steady results. That's not what you get with Darnold. Darnold's got a little Andrew Luck, though not as talented, and a little Carson Wentz, though not as reckless. He's an athlete. He improvs. He ad-libs. More dramatic, upscale touchdowns, but more ugly games. By the way, he's not obviously Brett Favre, but Brett Favre, when he was in Minnesota, was sort of like that. Brett was a chef. The two plays I remember from Brett Favre as a Minnesota Viking, just as a Viking, are that rollout throw against the San Francisco 49ers in the back of the end zone. It is one of the best throws I've ever seen in the history of football. It's just on the money. Only Favre could do that. You're not getting that with Kirk Cousins. But I also remember that dreadful interception he threw against the Saints that kept the Vikings out of the Super Bowl. And that's the chef. Either a fantastic meal, adapting, ad-libbing artistry, or you butchered it. Send it back to the kitchen. And that, to a lesser degree than Favre, that is what the Vikings have with Darnold. There's no question this offense has more juice. There's no question. Kirk Cousins was steadier, and I prefer quarterbacks with more juice. Lamar, Mahomes, Allen, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold. Now, you say, well, I thought you liked Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. Listen, Atlanta's been starving for 3 years offensively. They'll deal with chocolate chip cookies. They'll take baking. They just want to be competent. They need a formula. They can deal with a little formulaic. They can't even cross the 50-yard line last year in games with Desmond Ridder. But I would say, now, I would always rather have the chef over the baker, but Darnold does give Minnesota a higher ceiling. Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.